Alright, it's turn 39, and there were a bunch of battles, but this is the important one. We were assaulted in Ermor by that massive stack of Vanarus. So let's take a look at the contestants. On the side of Vanarus, we have just a great big frickin' army. We've got Oathbound, we've got Vanarusian Herdmen, we've got crossbows in the back, we've got a lot of Trude Skinshifters mixed in. We have a big pile of Goads. Right here you can see Vanarusian Goads. We have one Vanarusian Sage. I think there's a few more somewhere. And of course we have Kalevipolg the Noble Giant, who has been geared out now. He's got a dancing shield. He's got his cursed blade still. He's got a dragon helmet, black steel plate, and boots of the behemoth so he can trample. On my side, I've got a relatively small army by Ermorian standards, but the main bulk of it is ghouls. So this is my siege defense. This is my fort defense here. These ghouls. I've got a few lictors in the back. I've got a few skeletons up front, a few barbarians and soulless leading the charge. I have my mages intermixed, my spectators all with death gems, and I have the incredible Mr. Bones, the Statue of War. So Mr. Bones has his earth gems, and he will be earthquaking, which will of course decimate my forces, but will also decimate the enemy. So everyone's casting all their spells. We've got these long dead archers up on the walls. Fun fact, these units only exist as Ermorian fort defense. Regular long dead archers, of course, have Banefire bows. I wish these ones had Banefire bows. Oh, there's the earthquake. Wiped out a few units, and turned some of the, and it berserked pretty much all of the Trude Skinshifters and turned some of them into bears. And here come the Shadow Blasts. More Shadow Blasts incoming. And they are both killing and paralyzing, which is really useful. Lots and lots of banishments massacring my troops. You can see my ghouls are gone. The ghouls were murdered by those earthquakes, unfortunately. But having used up their gems, my spectators are now pumping out just absurd numbers of soulless warriors, which is fantastic because they have Raised Dead. They also have Horde of Skeletons. I hit enchantment 5 this turn. But lots of area of effect damage spells going in. Blade Winds, Shadow Blasts, murdering people in the pass. The banishments from the Goads. The Goads are still banishing, but it's not being super effective. The Vanabog is routing. I'm not sure why, because he hasn't taken any damage. A number of the Goads are also routing. And I think the battle has turned. My lictors are in the pass, blessed up with their decay weapons, shock and fire resistance, and plus strength, hacking their way through the bears. We've got that one guy throwing acid bolts from his staff of acid bolt. I'm shocked that he's still alive. Where is he? There he is. 1 hit point. Wow. He lived through... He's a trooper, man. He lived through 2 earthquakes. Just throwing acid bolts in. The banishments being less effective than the enemy would like, since my lictors have magic resistance 17. And they're just not making progress with the number of skeletons and soulless that my mages are summoning. They can't cut through quickly enough. So the battle rages on, but the enemy has routed. The priests have routed. Now all the infantry rout en masse, leaving only the bears. And the bears are slowly, one by one, cut down by a barrage of death evocations and an endless tide of the dead. There they go. That's it. Skeletons win again. Good job, boys. Good job. So, let's take a look at the casualties. Oof. So, unfortunately, I lost all of my ghouls. All but 2. So that's my fort defense gone. I lost most of my lictors, all of my long dead. I lost basically all of my infantry. I lost no mages, fortunately. Of my 14 mages, they are all still there. However, I lost 2 archbishops and a bishop. So that hurts a lot. But my Statue of War, as you can see here, the incredible Mr. Bones scored 316 kills. Admittedly, most of them were ghouls. but some of them will also have been, he killed off quite a few of the crossbowmen. I think all of those kills on the crossbowmen were him, all 20. And he also killed off, I think, a bunch of the regular infantry, as well as 4 of the goats. So he did manage to get 4 of them, which is great, because that reduced the amount of damage they could take. This is effectively 8 of them actually banished 120 people. And of course, the Chud Jarls also banished 50 of my troops. But we won. That's the important thing. So, Ermor, I won't say lives. Ermor continues to exist for another day. We did lose Rim Mountains, as I knew we would. There was nobody in the fort, and so there was no way to fight back the enemy. So we just exchanged some fire. We killed a couple of units. I don't know why these Tengu are. I think those Tengu are set to fire. But yeah, we just lost. That's all. So Rim Mountains has fallen. Very unfortunate. We are still under siege in Rame. We're reviving more lictors. Also, Itimu ranged out to Inasia and captured it with his little Onyx lady friends. So we're pulling him back to Ermor. I've already given all my orders for the turn. We're pulling him back to Ermor. We are reviving more lictors and reanimating more lictors. The Incredible Mr. Bones is just defending for now. Research doesn't matter super much, to be fully honest. We're trying to get to enchantment level 6. But, yeah. That's about the best we can do, to be fully honest. We do have Horde of Skeletons and Pale Riders now, so that's another Death Gem sink that we can't really afford. But at level 6, of course, we'll get Rigor Mortis. And Rigor Mortis will be super, super powerful since we have a couple of mages who can just cast it. Mike Ruzoth can cast it, and Putrescator can cast it. Unfortunately, it is going to take us more than 10 turns to reach it, and if I am still alive in 10 turns, I will be shocked. Absolutely shocked. I still have my capital. And Vanarus has gone AI. I don't know why. Must have been just something going on in his life, I'm sure. But the fact that he's gone AI means that I may actually... I don't want to say I may have a prayer, because I don't really. Because I've got this Agarthan army, and I've got the army of Shinuyama. But neither of these armies are anything like as impressive as the army that Vanarus had deployed towards me. And I think I can defeat either of these with sufficient numbers of skeletons. The Agarthan army will be trickier because I have to defeat the statues. And the statues are highly, highly resistant to, well, skeletons. They're highly resistant to skeletons. But this army we can take just with enough skeletons, because I can make enough skeletons. Now that I have Horde of Skeletons, if all these guys walk onto a battlefield, they can spam out an incredible quantity of skeletons. So that's the whole turn. I don't have anything else to do. I should send him to research, actually. I don't have anything else to do. This is it. This is the plan. And I'll see you in the next one, I think. Yeah, that's it. Wow, I'm amazed I'm still alive. I'm impressed that we won that. It was the Horde of Skeletons actually that did it. The Shadow Blasts were nice, and the Shadow Blasts did some damage, but it was primarily the fact that we just had so many skeletons they couldn't chop through. So, in any case, I'll see you all on turn 40. Okay, turn 40. Once again, this turn is going to be very short because my interaction with the world is highly limited. Vanarus is AI, so his army has fucked off somewhere, fortunately. Shinuyama is coming in for his turn. He's got his 150 strong army commanded by Kiyosada, the Bakemono sorcerer, who radiates power. I have a few troops, not many to be fully honest, which is, of course, why I have scripted everybody to cast Horde of Skeletons. So, my goal will be to basically bury the enemy in skeletons pretty quickly. I'm throwing up Skeletal Body on all my mages in order to keep them from being shot to death by arrows. The etherealness will help, but the flaming arrows will still hurt us. Unfortunately, I don't have a great countermeasure against fire, but the Skeletal Body will help to a limited extent. And it will delay casting, which is going to be a little bit valuable. So we've got everybody kind of I'm going to scatter my mages a little bit further back, actually. Because since we're holding off to wait for them to advance closer before we start throwing Shadow Blasts, because of course our magic is a little bit limited. I'm doing something a little bit cheesy, which is that I'm baiting out his, I'm gem baiting him. So I'm sending out Itimu here to break the siege carrying a few gems. And so before they attack, assuming they mean to attack, Itimu will run out. He's a mage, he's a powerful unit, and he's carrying gems. So the enemy army should basically go, oh shit, and trigger gem use on their own. And that will, of course, reduce their capabilities in the battle to come when they attack me. So that's the goal. That's the goal of that. We're going to set these shadows in a line as well. Or shades, rather. Shades are pretty cool units, actually, and very tough to kill. So they'll serve as excellent chaff. I am still throwing up anti-magic, so they will also have high magic resistance, as will the lictors. I've got my Amazons in the front line. They are no longer starving, albeit many of them are still diseased. But they'll be alright. I don't care if they die. And my mages are all going to be set to research for now, since they are not breaking out. Unfortunately, I can't reanimate while I am under siege, so my archbishops are left twiddling their thumbs, but we'll be doing okay. We still have the stellar focus from Ulm, and of course Ulm is rolling back in with a pretty big army to retake Rame, which he is going to manage to do. And unfortunately, that will cut off my Astral Pearl income. That's really sad. Anti-magic only actually takes 1 pearl, so I'm going to take 1 away from him. So Uthelden is only here to cast anti-magic. That is his entire function. I'm going to put him like... The problem is I don't want him to suck up attack rear orders. I'm actually going to put them back there, and then I will also put these ghouls back here, because I need some... Since they have Tengu, they are doubtless going to be trying to launch attack rear orders on me. So I'll put those 2 squads back there, and I'll also put... Who else? I'll also put these long dead horsemen back there, so there'll be someone for them to jump on besides the mages. I don't want... Even though the Tengu would have to get through the ethereal, they could still cut down my spectators, so having 3 squads back there will help. Help spread them out at least. And then I'll take these soulless, and I'll also put these soulless back here. Great. So, that'll be the strategy. Hopefully I'll waste a bunch of his gems by breaking siege with the Timu, and then I should be able to hold it for 1 more turn, which will let me reanimate some more troops up, and possibly, cross my fingers, hope to die, even get over here and retake Rim Mountains, which he can't really use much. I mean, he can't recruit units here. He can recruit mages here, but he can't really recruit units here. It looks like Agartha is actually moving away, which is fine. That might give me a chance to retake these 2 provinces. And then, of course, I will have to deal with Ulm coming back in for a fight. He'll win here, like, 100% guarantee, no question. I'm not even bothering to script my troops here. What I am actually going to do is I'm going to break siege with my, my priests, and I'm going to order them to retreat immediately. So, they're going to try to retreat into the fort, I think. I think there's a chance of some of them retreating elsewhere. I think. And anybody getting out would be good. So actually, tell you what, I'm going to break siege with everybody. Plague Tongue, break siege, and we're just going to order them all to retreat. Don't break siege with these guys. There's no reason for them to die unnecessarily. But we will retreat, and we'll retreat with all the ghouls, and that'll be fine. Retreat. Great. I don't know that this will work. I'm not sure this mechanic works this way, but, I mean, it can't hurt. Actually, it will hurt, because if they retreat... Never mind that. Never mind. Never mind. I messed up. I messed up. All the provinces around me have been taken, so if they retreat, they'll just die. Okay, well, I'm just gonna... I'm literally going to leave them unscripted, because there's no point. Like, whatever they choose to do will have precisely the same effect. I don't have any mages here. And I don't have any countermeasures to Ulm. So, Ulm's just going to roll in and take Rame back. Unfortunate. However, I may still be able to survive in Ermor itself for a little while. I may even be able to push back out and take, like I said, a couple of provinces. If I could grab that Pyramid of Life, that would be great. Refill my Astral Pearls a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. So, thanks for watching. These are the dying days, or the re-dying days of Ermor, but I'm going to put up a good fight for as long as I can, and be as annoying as possible for as long as I can. Hopefully keep burning down all these provinces to render them totally worthless, because that is the kind of spiteful, hateful, population-killing thing that Ermor does. And we've done a pretty good job. We've rendered a reasonable chunk of the map unusable and unimportant. So that's nice. At least we're making somebody work, somebody pay for those 9 death gems per turn they're going to get when they take us out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in turn 41. All right, so turn 41, and this one was really funny. Remember how Vanarus went AI? Well, AI Vanarus just attacked Shinuyama in an effort to conquer Ermor. So they sent in their big army here with a couple of Zimeis they've summoned, these 3-headed dragon things, which are a Rus-only summon. They're pretty good. A whole bunch of random troops. They've got Kalvipog, the noble giant, in here with his heroic endurance. They've got a big old pile of griffins they summoned in the back. And they have their Vanabog. And on the other side, the goblins, the Bakemono, have their army complete with a bunch of Tengu, some Kappas in the back, their Bakemono sorcerer, several Ubas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Ubas, scattered Bakemono archers, and up front the Dai Bakemono and some bandits, and their Bakemono generals with flambeaux that I think they bought from Ulm. So, the Dai Bakemonos fire, lightning goes off, flaming arrows, Tengu, the enemy archers rout, a huge pile of infantry charges its way in to fight the Dai Bakemono, start inflicting some casualties, but they get worn down by the flaming arrows. Kalvipog is killed. Overall, relatively little damage done to Shinuyama, except notice how their Ubas seem to have moved? Yeah, the Ubas do that. I feel like they weren't entirely properly scripted for this battle because they weren't expecting it. So, like, there's a ghost cat who is an Uba, like, way up front here who's been injured. And if you look at the, not that. If you look at the battle report, they actually lost a Bakemono sorcerer and 2 Ubas. Now, one of them transformed into a ghost cat, but one of them just died. So they lost an Uba, they lost a Bakemono sorcerer, which is huge, and then a random assortment of their infantry. Meanwhile, Vanarus's stack, which I had already badly injured, is essentially destroyed. They've got 50 units left, and none of their skin shifters, most of their infantry is dead, both of their Zimeis are dead, and they lost their noble giant. They do still have a few Chud Jarls and a Vanabog. Then, I sallied out of Ermor with Itimu with his blood slaves, just to draw some gem usage, which I drew a little bit of gem usage. And then I charged in and fought a water elemental, killed it, also killed that Uba. That ghost cat, that was an Uba. And then I charged in and got stabbed to death, and I actually, he got crippled, which is unfortunate, but that was totally worth it, because he just comes right back. And so we killed another Uba, so they're down to 7 and 1 Bakemono sorcerer. And then they attack the fortress in Ermor. Except now, I have Skelespam online. So, they start firing all their arrows, they start doing damage, it's all great. Everybody here gets the unholy blessing and all that stuff, so my lictors are blessed up. And then watch. Boom. Here comes the pain. Shadow Blast going in, doing some damage to the archer lines, which are spread out to avoid taking too much pain, but as the skeletons rush in, and the archers on the wall continue to fire, it is just too much. It is just too much for them to handle. The constant, unrelenting stream of the dead drives the Bakemono from the battlefield. And in the process, they lose all of their Ubas, except for one who transforms into a ghost cat and runs away, as well as well over half of their other units, including the remaining Dai Bakemono. On my side, I lost a bunch of infantry. I did lose 10 lictors. That hurts. But beyond that, this was chump change. Chump change compared to this. Killing 6 mages alone made this more than worth it. In Rame, Ulm rolled in, destroyed everything. I expected it. He's got 19 priest smiths with him, and I bet you anything he has Iron Blizzard online. Let me watch. He's not casting it. Possibly he doesn't have... Oh, nope, there it is. There's the Iron Blizzard coming in. Yep, that's the Iron Blizzard, alright. Okay, so yeah, he's got Iron Blizzard online. And he's got buffs for his infantry, of course. So, yeah, I expected that. That stack is going to be almost impossible for me to handle. But, you know what? That's okay. I've done a good job. I've done a pretty good job. So, Itimu is moving out here to conquer this. These mages... I was moving to Rim Mountains to put the place under siege. On second thought, I'm actually just going to research with them for right now. I am reviving 9 more lictors, which is costing almost all of my death gems. And I am patrolling with only the Incredible Mr. Bones. If any army comes in, I can't think of an army that can stop the Incredible Mr. Bones at this point. Basically, he's scripted to cast Fire Shield, spam out some Horde of Skeletons, drop Falling Fires, then he has a ton of spells he can cast. And he'll be fine. I mean, he'll legitimately be fine. Actually, he should also cast... That's right, I haven't researched any conjuration whatsoever, have I? So he can't even summon Earth Power. That's okay. I'm going up to enchantment level 6. Enchantment level 5, of course, gave me Horde of Skeletons. Enchantment level 6 will give me Rigor Mortis, and that will sort of change the calculus just a little bit, because Rigor Mortis will enable me to defeat Olmish stacks if I have the appropriate countermeasures available. Like, mainly undead mages spamming Horde of Skeletons behind Rigor Mortis can handle that kind of thing. So that's the plan. I'm taking this province back. Agartha has told me that he is sending me a massive infusion of death gems. 40, I think was what he said, which means that next turn, I'll have enough death gems to do some really, really serious summoning. Which will be my plan. So, I believe Agartha is definitely hoping to use me as a counterbalance to block off all this stuff to help keep Ulm occupied and Shinuyama especially occupied. He's really hoping to use me to keep Shinuyama occupied, which is fine. I'm okay with being used as a minion. I'm doing all right. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in turn 42. I'm not going to win this game. I want to make that clear. I'm absolutely not going to win this game. Most of the thrones have been claimed. Nobody is really in a dominant position right now. But Uruk is doing very, very well for themselves. To be honest, Shinuyama, the Throne of Earth, is really good in this. I think these are mod thrones, possibly some of them. The Throne of Earth, I don't remember seeing that gnome thing. But in any case, Ulm is doing okay as well, but I think we can... I think this is eminently... I think at least... I may be able to survive until the late game at this point, because with Vanarus AI and Shinuyama having lost, Ulm rolling in is really my only big worry right now. But if I can break Ulm and start expanding again, if I can maybe get another fort set up somewhere, if I get a really good luck event, I might be able to get another fort. If I can take Rim Mountains back, especially, that would be huge. So, yeah, what I actually might do next turn is I might just use all of my mages to reanimate. I might cast Reanimation or cast Pale Riders and just build up a huge blob of chaff as quickly as possible, because I am critically short of chaff right now. But in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in turn 42. Alright, Malpractice turn 42. Looking at messages, there was a battle in Ermor. We were once again attacked by Shinuyama. Specifically, we were attacked by one Bakemono scout who was coming out just, I think, in case we hadn't put anything here, but we had. He was hoping to lock us down for one more turn, but alas, 'twas not to be. The Incredible Mr. Bones was on the patrol, along with some province defense that I bought because I actually had some money, which Ermor normally doesn't have. But the skeletons come and murder him before he can run. Other battles. There was a battle in Rim Mountains. We launched a small attack on Rim Mountains with one little scouting duder of our own, and of course ran into this army. So this is a fairly significant army. It's actually more significant than the last one. Higher proportion of Daitengu, and more Bakemono sorcerers, including a number that are Death 3. In fact, I think they're all Death 3 random Bakemono sorcerers. Except for this guy. He's a Fire 3. And they have one Uba who can howl. So good for them. Few other survivors, and the Dai Bakemono are just going to, you know, accomplish what they can accomplish. Looks like they are spamming skeletons of their own. in response to my spamming of skeletons, and so overall that's a problem. Minkuk Gangska Store has actually stolen Earthblood Deepwell from Ulm, so if we look at that, yeah, Agartha actually has Earthblood Deepwell up, and Ulm still has Stellar Focus. Now, Agartha's promised death gems have not yet materialized, which I personally am a little bit disappointed by, but not terribly surprised. So we will see what progresses. That Agarthan army headed this way. It could potentially, I think, have gone underwater, or it could have gone to attack Uruk, I suppose. Uruk has a Mashmashu underwater as well. It is well into the mid-game at this point. The fact that I'm still alive is honestly fairly startling. I'm surprised by it. But I'm actually spending my death gems this term casting Pale Riders instead of summoning more Lictors, because we've got a big old pile of Priest Smiths with Iron Blizzard coming in, and Lictors don't do great against Iron Blizzard, especially without any defensive buffs. Against Iron Blizzard, their protection is effectively like 7, and so 1 or 2 hits and they go right down. So I'm summoning more mass instead of relying on Lictors, and we'll see how that goes for me. Probably not great. This may be the army that spells my doom. I think I've said things like that before. Research-wise, we are rushing to see if we can't get enchantment level 6 before everything goes south. It is going to take us 3 turns, however, and I don't think I have 3 turns. Atimu is going to grab that province. I'm setting out Nightworm with my Barbarians to grab that province. And I anticipate this army is going to roll right in, and we will be fighting another desperate defense of Ermor. If we can hold Ulm off 3 times, I think I can officially declare myself the moral victor. We've broken... Well, actually, I suppose we can already do that. I've already broken 3 sieges of Ermor, I think. Haven't I? I know I've defeated Vanarus, I've defeated Shinuyama. I think maybe this will be the hat trick. So, we will focus on achieving that, and we may have to alchemize to get an Astral Pearl to cast anti-magic with our Shadow Seer here, but that'll be fine. So, hopefully, more fun things will happen in the next turn. So thanks for watching. If I get those 40 death gems, that would be sweet. Don't know if it would change anything, but it might. And even if I don't, it has been an honor. So, I'll see y'all in turn 43. Alright, turn 43, not dead yet. Ulm is moving in with their army. They're leaving some troops behind, including a whole bunch of crystal sorceresses, which is a little bit worrying. Like I said before, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop them this time, but I'm doing my best. I am casting Pale Riders again. My first shot got me 26, so I'll get another 26 by casting it a second time. And they'll serve as pretty decent shock troops, especially with their lance charge. They will do extra damage. The bonus damage is limited to half the strength of the charging unit, which in this case is 5. So they'll hit at, I think, strength 18, which isn't terrible. They will at least serve as pretty decent chaff. I am also reanimating Lictors as quickly as I can for free. And I do have some Night Spawn as well. A little bit. Looks like I've got 5 so far. So those could be helpful. They are not ethereal, so they won't be able to go through the walls, but since I do have a couple of Astral Mages, I can make them ethereal by stationing the Astral Mages behind them and casting Body Ethereal on them. So probably I'm going to have those guys hold, cast Body Ethereal on them, and set them to attack rear, which might accomplish something against Ulm here. Shinuyama is not going to be dislodgeable because I have to keep my troops at home to defend the fort. The incredible Mr. Bones here needs to stay behind as well, because if he goes out, if he dies, most of my bless will be fine, but I will lose the fire and shock resist. To be honest, against Ulm, that's probably not too important, but also Earthquake against Ulm won't probably accomplish a whole lot, because if I go out an Earthquake, the only ones that it could potentially really hurt would be, let's look at Ulm here, and I can show you. The Priest Smiths have 8 protection and 12 hit points, so they're unlikely to die to an 8 armor-piercing hit. It's effectively damage 4 rolling against 12. Black Priests could potentially die if he has a whole bunch of Black Priests. And then Master Smiths, like Priest Smiths, have a little bit of armor. So, you know, it probably, like, an Earthquake would be useful, but I'll probably just deploy it while I'm defending the actual fort, because my Long Dead Horsemen have high enough defense and some protection, so they can probably tank it. And my Lictors can definitely tank it, and my Knights of the Unholy Sepulchre can almost certainly tank it. So it's really only the skeletons, especially the unshielded skeletons, that would take the brunt of the hit. My long-dead Triariuses would probably survive. It's only my garbage skeletons that would die, to be honest. And my mages are primarily ethereal. Now my priests are not, my acolytes and my archbishops and stuff. So an earthquake could mess them up, but yeah, that's just kind of a risk you have to take. So we're just researching this turn. We're hoping that we can get to enchantment 6 before Ulm attacks, because that will allow me to drop Rigor Mortis, and that will be a huge game changer as well. With Putrescador and Micru Zoth, the Dusk Elder, those two will be able to drop Rigor Mortis, and I'm trying to remember where Darkness is. I think it's actually down Thaumaturgy or something. Alteration, that's it, Alteration level 6. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to that unless something goes incredibly right. Agartha has not sent those death gems, so I have been abandoned. Death gems are not in the cards for me, it looks like. But Etimu is still roaming around, just going to take some provinces away from the AI over here, and we will prepare for another defense of Ermor. So we're just going to hold on as long as we can, cause as much chaos as we can. It's an Ermor game. That's the point of the whole thing. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in turn 44.